Hey friends, pay attention. Today I want to tell you a real story from Spain, a story that happened to me about 2 years ago in Roquetas de Mar. Back then, while I was still there, I couldn't talk about it. Not because I didn't want to, but because sometimes, when you're inside certain situations, it's better to stay quiet. Now I'm home, I made myself a coffee, I remembered everything, and I said, all right, it's time to tell this story. Because if you listen carefully, you can actually learn something from it. And I already know what some of you are thinking. Bogdan, what were you actually doing in Spain? If you want to understand that, you need to watch this story until the end. So, let's start. 2 years ago, I was living in Spain, in Roquetas de Mar. At some point, I put an ad online. I had a women's gold bracelet and I wanted to sell it. Simple ad, photos, details, nothing special. A lot of people called me. But one call stood out. A guy calls me and starts with, "Hola, hola." I answer him and he says he saw my ad. He asks about the gold bracelet. Normal conversation. Until suddenly he says something that made me stop. He says, "Listen, I actually have 1.2 kilograms of gold, all in bars." I look at my phone like, "Wait, what?" I ask him, "What do you want to do with it?" He says, "I want to sell it, but I want to talk, negotiate the price, understand each other." Something already felt strange. He spoke very bad Spanish. So I ask him, "Where are you from? What nationality are you?" He says, "I'm Romanian." I tell him, "Then why are we talking Spanish? I'm Romanian too. Let's talk Romanian." His name is Florin, from Pitești. I tell him directly, "Florin, listen to me carefully. I'm not new to this. Don't try to burn me because if you do, it won't end well. I'm not threatening you, I'm just making things clear so we don't waste time or create problems." He answers, "You're right, brother. I understand you perfectly. Nobody wants to get scammed." And listen, this wasn't about 50 grams or 100 grams. This was 1.2 kilograms of gold. That's serious money. I ask him where he is. He says he's in Valencia. He says he can come to Roquetas de Mar so we can meet, weigh it, test it, and do business. I ask him, "Do you have bars of 300 grams?" He says yes. 4 bars, total 1.2 kilograms. I ask, "Are you sure it's real gold?" What kind of question is that? I tell him, "Florin, gold needs to be tested. Weight is not enough. I'll bring scale, testing stone, acid, everything." He says, "No problem. I'll come tomorrow around 12:01 p.m. But then he says something interesting. He tells me, "Please don't take me to your house. Don't take me to other Romanians. Let's meet somewhere public, like a bar. Just the two of us. No police, no problems." That already told me a lot. I tell him, "Relax, just me and you, wherever you want." We agree to meet at a bar. Next day, I wake up early, I prepare everything. Scale, testing tools, everything. Around 11, he calls me. He says he's on the road, but had a flat tire near Murcia. He says he'll be late. I tell him, "No problem. Call me when you reach Almeria." Hours pass. 12, 1, 2, 3. At 5:30 p.m., he finally calls. "I'm in Almeria, coming now to Roquetas." I tell him to meet me at the bus station. He tells me he's in a white car. When he arrives, I see him. He's alone in the car. At least, that's what it looked like. I tell him to follow me. I drive him to a Moroccan cafe bar near the police station, a place I already knew. I chose that place for a reason. Inside, I choose a table with my back to the wall and my face toward the entrance. Always. When you do business with people you don't know, you need to see who comes in, who goes out, who moves. Florin sits across from me. We shake hands, and I immediately notice something I hate. He squeezes my hand hard. That fake alpha move, trying to dominate. I don't say anything. I just observe. Because listen carefully. I'm not stupid. Not in business, not in life. When I meet someone new, I let them talk first. I let them show me who they are. Florin talks big, walks big, acts tough, swears on his family a lot. That already told me enough. I ask him, "How much gold did you bring?" He says, 1.2 kilograms. I tell him, "I don't care where it's from. I don't ask questions. Let's just see it." He explains that he melts small pieces and makes bars himself. Fine, his story. He opens his bag and puts 1 bar on the table. But here's where it gets interesting. I notice he has earphones connected to his phone, like someone might be listening. At the same time, I notice a guy outside, walking back and forth, same posture, same attitude, every 2 minutes, passing the same spot. I start paying attention. I take out my testing tools. I tell Florin, we need to test it properly. He suddenly becomes uncomfortable. He says, why cut it? We can test it on the stone. I look at him and say, Florin, if I buy it, I don't care if we cut it in 10 pieces. If it's real, there's no problem. He insists. He doesn't want to cut it. That's when I know. Because here's a classic trick. They wrap a core of iron or copper with a layer of gold. On the outside, tests fine. Inside, fake. I press the bar against the table. I grab it. I pull out my saw. Florin panics. I tell him, don't make me believe you came all this way to burn me. I cut the bar, and there it is. Gold on the outside, different metal inside. I test the inside. It turns black. I look at him and say, Florin, what is this? Whew, he swears again on his family, says he didn't know, says he bought it like this, says he also got scammed. I tell him, listen carefully. I came with real money. You came with fake gold. This conversation is over. I tell him to get up and leave, now. He stands up, leaves immediately, runs to his car and disappears. The Moroccan guy from the bar comes back later and asks what happened. I tell him nothing. Because some things don't need to escalate. Next day, Florin calls me. He begs me not to tell anyone. He admits he knew. He says, with some people it works, with others it doesn't. Please don't ruin it for me. I tell him, we're done. Don't call me again. And that's the story. The lesson? This kind of business is not for everyone. If you don't know how to read people, situations, exits, silence, you get burned. And once word goes around that you're easy, everyone tries you. That's why I acted the way I did. And that's why I'm still here telling you this story. I have Ma. Need more stories from Spain? If you want to hear them, you know what to do. We'll talk again in the next vlog. Take care.